What's good, y'all? We are super excited to share this announcement. This summer, Fanatics Fest returns to NYC and is taking over the Javits Center from Thursday, July 16th through Sunday, July 19th. Now you get a chance to meet your favorite athletes from across every major league. Check out live panels and podcasts from some of the biggest names in sports. Buy, sell, or trade collectibles, cop exclusive merch, and connect with fans around the world sharing your passion for sports. Tickets are on sale now at fanaticsfest.com. And when you use the promo code Knicks Film 10 at checkout, you get 10% off your purchase. It's an extra day for the world's #1 sports fan festival coming together under one roof, and you won't want to miss it.
Been that long? You want to try that again outside after school, you punk? After school, after school, we ball. Just meet me after school. After school, after school, we ball. Just meet me after school. After school, after school, we ball. Just meet me after school. After school.
What's good, family? Welcome to another edition of KFS After School. I'm Jeff, that's Sean, and you're amazing. This is on the Knicks Film School YouTube channel. You already know the vibes. Like this video if you love what you're hearing. Comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tap in because we got everything going on around the Knickerbockers from the week that was and the week that is to arrive. Sean, how you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling a lot better that we are coming to you after a win than after a loss, because if this was after another loss, which would have been 5 in a row, the vibes, well, there would have been a different title for this show. The title, so I
saw the title flip too. I was
yes.
like, oh.
So I texted Jeff during the game, I believe, and I said, tomorrow's show is going to be called Skyfall, because the way y'all motherfuckers was acting, like, you would have thought the sky was going to fall, get up, and fall again. And then the ground will open up and the sky would go into the ground and close up. But after a win against a team, and listen, I know the Clippers record stinks. They have like the second best net rating in the last 2 weeks. Shout out to John for that stat. So the vibes are up. So guess what, guys? The double is still on. What is the double? Jeff, please explain to them what the double is.
This would make the Knicks the first team in NBA history, if they were to win the title this year, to win both the NBA Cup and the NBA World Championship in the same season. So double the chips, if you will. And shout out to Mike Volkarov, who used to be the Knicks beat reporter for The Athletic once upon a time and is now a national reporter for them. He spoke of the treble when Oklahoma City failed to make the Cup final, where it would be best record, NBA Cup, and NBA championship, which is going to happen one of these years, and that team will have their claim to being one of the best teams in the history of the league.
Absolutely. And I think bringing up Oklahoma City is a good place to start, because I am going to play a clip here from the general manager of the Oklahoma City Thunder, Sam Presti. As many of you know, the Oklahoma City Thunder, who some people had rumored were going to go 78-3, 77-4. They've won. They're 7-6 in their last 13, including getting taken to overtime by the Jazz and getting clapped the night before 2 days before, the same day the Knicks lost to the Pistons. We'll get to that game in a second. Lost by like double digits at home to the Charlotte Hornets. So here is Sam Presti, Oklahoma City general manager.
for weeks and maybe a month. You don't want to have several months, but
let's start over. Come on, Sam. Come on. Here we go.
I think they also learned that the sky falls on every NBA team at least 2 times a year. So over 82 games, you will not play well for 82 games. You may play horrible for weeks and maybe a month. You don't want to have several months, but every team, the teams that are still playing right now, the sky fell on this season and everybody freaked out. And the teams that have sophisticated competitiveness to them understand that while you're going through that, that's the solution. The regression is, okay, you have to keep pounding through this and working through it. And I think if you have the right principles, the right mentality, and the right temperament, you can work through that and become a better player and a better team as a result of that. And I think our guys figured that out. So there's going to be lulls. Can you play through the lulls? Can you block out the noise? Can you not become part of the audience? Can you still maintain the perspective of the competitor and not the observer? Because that's your only solution, is to work.
So again, that's Sam Presti. And again, the Oklahoma City Thunder have lost. Well, they're 7-6, so they've lost 6 of the last 13 games. So I think Jeff, I think that's a good, seeing that message right now is good. Especially with the adversity going on for that team, right? I think it's a good time, right?
I think it's perfect timing given the Knicks' recent, you could say it in the past, 4-game slide.
Yes. Except guess what, Jeff?
What's up?
That clip is from April of 2023. That clip is Presti's part of Presti's annual end-of-year press conference, which we are not used to in New York because our president of basketball operations. Yeah, but whatever. But yeah, that's from April of 2023. And I say that to say I granted a little bit more grace during the watch long that during the Pistons game with myself and John, because I've seen this team. Jeff, we have said this. This team loves to let go of the rope. They love to make business decisions. They love to say, we'll get them next time. They love to say, all right, we ain't got it, screw it, and just be like, just throw their hands up. So I'm like, that's, but at the same time, it's actually just annoying to see in real time. Now, yeah. Jeff, I would like to ask you, obviously you find it annoying too, but we saw, and we were texting back and forth the last 48, 60 hours, the responses from Knicks fans and non-Knicks fans as well as to this 4-game losing streak. I mean, were they warranted to you? Were they unwarranted? Somewhere in the middle? What's your thought?
I think it's fair to question a team's heart after a few games in the current form. But I also think it's not logical to me to discount 33 games of evidence for a 4-game period. Like, if 33 games of evidence told you this is who the team is, and 4 games is the complete antithesis of how they've been playing, right? So 33 games, and yes, I'm including.
Yes. Talk to them.
I'm including whether you want to believe in it. No, it believes in you. Okay? I'm counting 33 games. If 33 games tells you one narrative and 4 games is the antithesis of another, then logically you'd say those 4 games are a blip, as opposed to the weighted, the 90% of games that you saw prior to that. I think what I realized over these last 4 games, and I realized it when they went on their first 3-game losing streak earlier in the year. You remember when the season was over?
Yes.
The NBA is the most volatile vibes league in sports. More volatile than soccer, more volatile than football. Because think about it, Sean. With soccer, I thought about it long and hard. With soccer, it's consistent. Like if somebody has a narrative on a team, it's consistent throughout, whether they see, like they gotta have the result at the end.
Yes.
And it takes a few games for the vibe to officially shift. But a vibe will be consistent on a team. And then there's so much banter with soccer, you don't know what's a actual take and what's just slander, right? What's just getting jokes off. You don't really know how people feel unless you get them in a room like, yo, I really, like, how do you feel? Like, all jokes aside, with soccer. But not in baseball, even baseball with 162 games, football, hockey. I think a 3-game skid in the NBA will completely disrupt a vibe that a team has. And it was in full force with the Knicks. And for me, Mike Brown had a great quote where he said, fans are justified in panicking if they want to panic, if they see 4 games and it's not up to the quality that they've been promised. And there's signs that there could be lingering concerns and consistent concerns. But them as a team, they can't subscribe to that. They have to keep playing. They have to make sure that they correct whatever mistakes they have to make. But at some point, I just ask, like, it's so many questions. At that point, I just want to understand, how can you be out on a team or condemn a team or even exalt a team based off of a small sample size and really be true to that? You know what I'm saying? Like, you really believe that. I don't know. It's just, at some point, you can't allow confirmation bias to dictate your narrative. Like, if you feel like no matter what, if you don't get the result that you're looking for, that this is what it is, this is how I feel, and this is what it is, then nothing's really going to shake you. And then I don't know how you're able to watch sports for enjoyment. That's my bigger thing. And because social media has now incentivized rage baiting and engagement baiting, I don't know how many of these takes are actual passionate fan takes and how many of these are just trying to get 25 cents from Elon.
So it's funny you say that, because when you spoke about soccer, and I agree, like, soccer is, European soccer specifically, it is the hardest to find out whether the information you're getting is complete banter or if it's actual analysis from fans. And of course, they dismiss you or me and you because we have accents. And some of the dumbest things I've ever heard about soccer came from people with English accent, but whatever. But yeah, it's hard. Like, listen, my rule is, and we'll get to this when we get to the social media section, if it seems engagement baity or rage baity and that person is blue check next to that mark, whatever. If they don't have it, then they're doing it for the love. And you know what? Shout out to you. Yeah, I just think that, again, to your point, you have a sample size of 33 and a sample size of 4. Why would you believe the 4? Why would you believe the 4 games over the 33? But I will throw a bone to the people who crashed out, or not crashed out, but
there was some crash outs.
Yeah, there were crash outs. There was
definitely some crash outs.
Well, I would throw a bone to the people who exhibited concern, and that may or may not include the host of the Knicks Film School post-game show, is that it's usually not the what as it is the how. And Jonathan and I said this on the show during the watch on against the Pistons, and we'll dive into the Pistons game in a second. The Pistons had that game circled on their calendar the day the schedule came out. The Knicks knew the Pistons had that game circled on their calendar the day the schedule came out. The Pistons knew, the Knicks knew the Pistons had that game circled on the calendar the day the schedule came out. Every single Knicks fan, every single Pistons fans knew this game was going to mean something to the Knicks.
And then to the Pistons.
To the Pistons. And it's one thing if you lose. You play hard, you lose, whatever. It's another thing where it seems like you couldn't be bothered to show up until the third quarter. And that is annoying. That's absolutely annoying. But the reason why, and I said this on the watch song, the reason why I'm not losing my shit, and I even tweeted it, like I'm actually no, I tweeted this during the Spurs game. Like I'm not the Spurs game, the Sixers game. I'm annoyed, but I'm not, I'm not crashing out.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm annoyed. Like I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose a game, but I'm just like, all right, whatever. And I think for me, like, especially being in this content creation space, with being with Knicks Film School, this is my 24th season. When you really watch this team every single day and lock in and have to be able to share opinions and, for lack of a better word, narratives and make judgments about the team, you realize you just can't go up and down and up and down and up and down. You can't. Like, emotionally, it'll just kill you.
Right.
So when they lose to the Spurs on Christmas Day, even though they had a 10-point lead going into the fourth quarter, you're like, all right, even though Wemby was out, Julian Champagnie hit 11 threes in the game, and I don't think he's hit 11 threes combined since. Whatever. Sixers game, all right. Not Sixers game. Hawks game, all right. No Cat. The Hawks were able to play. They're able to zero in on Brunson and switch everything except for Brunson in a way they probably wouldn't be able to do if Cat play. Whatever. Sixers game, all right. We have not been able to keep Tyrese Maxey in front of us since 2024. And again, they're playing the Sixers on the second night of a back-to-back, which is 6.5. All right, whatever. But at that point, you're like, all right, this is getting annoying. We lost 3 in a row, but whatever. And then you see that. And again, you knew this game was circled on their calendar. You knew they were going to give a shit.
For sure.
And to lose and to get, they got clapped.
Their cheeks got clapped.
They got destroyed on on international television, right? Like, that's annoying. But again, as I've said about this team, and shout out to the tips people who came out the woodwork and talking about how the record's the same as last year and yada yada yada, and we'll get to them later. This team was on this bullshit under Tom Thibodeau. But also under Tom Thibodeau, I saw this team when they knew they had no more room to bullshit. They got it together and they beat the Pistons and they beat the Celtics. And if it wasn't for the worst 4 minutes, arguably in the history of the franchise, maybe they're in the finals, right? So I'm not going to crash out, but I can understand why someone will be pissed, angry, upset, annoyed, disappointed. But the season is never over in January. Ever, ever, ever. Just like how the season wasn't over in November. Like Mike Brown said, after the first three-game losing streak, this won't be the last one. So what are you going to do? How are you going to deal with it, right?
I totally get you on that, man. And like I've told you many times, I try to stay as even keel as possible. And I understand if we're going to get super exuberant and hyped over 5-6 game winning streaks and stretches of great play, it would be disingenuous to not understand how somebody can go the other side, or he can get low when it's a 4-game losing streak. I'm not saying don't be frustrated. I'm not saying don't be angry. I'm not saying don't curse them out, but I would be careful not to indict a team for who they are. Like, for example, we've had talks about the 23-24 team versus the 24-25 team.
Yes.
And what mentality does this 25-26 team have? I do think this one is a mix of the last two teams. I do think this one is a mix. And I think games like Detroit would have definitely happened under the 24-25 squad, the 23-24, they just had a bunch of scrappy players who were earning every minute they were getting on the court and had so much to prove that they just weren't built like that. But then again, they gave everything to make sure they were in every game of the season and ended up giving everything of their body to stay on the court.
Yes.
And eventually the sands in the hourglass dropped. All their body parts were red and they crashed out. Their check engine lights all came on. So that's not an excuse for getting your clock cleaned in Detroit. But I do think I see more of a competitive fight from this squad than I did from the last squad. And I think part of it is that they're not determined to lose the exact same way over and over and over and over and over and over again. And just accept that for what it is. And when you hit the wall, all right, we're throwing it up, game over. There's going to be adjustments. There's going to be rotation changes. There's going to be attempt to find something that works and cycle and cycle and cycle until you hit. So that to me shows that there's an incentive for hunger on this squad to be able to play and to be able to show out when you get an opportunity, because it could be your last or it could be the start of a bunch of them.
Well said. Well said. What'd you make of Cat's comments about me still trying to figure out his role in the offense in fucking January? Jeff has that look on your face, like he's shaking his foot. He's shaking his head. He's like, come on, son.
Because you know what? I understand why he's frustrated.
Yes.
And I understand he's dead ass about his comment. You got to figure it out. I got to find out. I'm still not comfortable. I hear that. I hate it when players like Jalen Brunson give us the cookie cutter response and all of that, when it's like, yo, and you could tell when he's tired of giving the Derek Jeter responses and starting to like give us real talk. Yeah. Right. Which is why I appreciate Josh Hart, because for better or for worse, you're going to know how that man feel. Mm-hmm. Even when he's down or whatever. And he's the type that could come back a few days later like, man, you know I be bitching. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what it is with Cat. At some point, it's been, 38 games. It's been 38 games. At some point, it's you. At some point, it's you. Like, you dealt it, bro. It ain't everybody else farting and you just got a steel stomach. You ain't eat the ice cream today, so it couldn't have been you. You dealt it. It was you. This time it was you. And if you are going to make the proclamation that you're the greatest shooting big man of all time, I would expect the greatest shooting big man of all time to be able to adjust to any offense that they're given. Yeah, there's going to be growing pains, but I would expect adjustments to be made. And at some point, we've seen him thrive in the offense. We've seen him thrive at times. Mm-hmm. He just has to figure it out. Even if it's like, okay, where am I most effective this season? Let me maximize that and get the opportunity. I do think that there is a burden of responsibility on the point guard and on the facilitators of the team to put everybody in the best possible position to score, to get them the rock. There's been a lot of times where I see a Brunson Cat pick and roll where Cat pops and he's there for that quick window for a three and the ball don't get to him. Doesn't excuse everything else, but it starts with you. It starts with, yo, fam, and I saw him do it last night, and I'm like, yo, if you do this the rest of the season, I got no smoke for you. Mm-hmm. Bro, we know your whistle is trash, but you got to go in with the shoulder, don't off arm.
Yes.
Oh, shoulder to shoulder. Because the minute they start calling the shoulder offensive, then it's like, yo, we got to start sending clips to the league.
Yes.
Because what are we going to do? Like, what are you going to allow the offensive player to get some type of advantage, or are you going to let them play and let some type of physicality go by. But don't give them a reason. You are on the most wanted list for offensive fouls. You are Billy the Kid. You are, you know what I'm saying? Like your picture is in the post office right now for them offensive fouls. You can't do it anymore. You can't let your offense affect your defense. Get in where you fit in. Get in where you fit in, and then take over when it's needed. That's what a second option can do. And the reliability is on you. At some point, the adjustment is on you. But I understand why he's frustrated, and he's like, yo, I got to make the sacrifice. Okay. Yeah, you do, bro.
Yeah,
you make
do.
the most on the team. Okay, make the most. Yes. We're asking you to sacrifice, money man, big time, a big bank. We asking you to do that. Yeah, you're going to have to. Yeah, you got to learn 2 positions. You could be more dynamic if you know multiple positions. So I have base level grace, but at some point it's like, yo, fam, you can't tell me you one of the illest to ever do it and you can't do it in different situations. You can't only do it when it's catered to you. And I don't think that's the case. I think he has to just, there's got to be a middle ground between him embracing this new offense and Mike Brown emphasizing the ways in which Cat can be most effective, and the team playing towards that too.
Well said. So you brought up an interesting point about the point guard of the team may have some his hands aren't exactly dirty either, right? So I would love to play a game that I like to call, shout out to Andrew, Blame Pie. So, all right, let me share my screen here, and we are going to share that window. All right, let's see how this looks. Let's do that, and let's do this. Come on. Here we go. Guess what, guys? We have a pie. We are going to fill this pie, and we're going to figure out who is in. Let us divvy up slices of blame pie, because in an organization, we never believe it's one person. One person is not all to blame, but let's figure it out. So I've started here. I don't know if you can see it, but it says everyone, we're gonna divvy out percentages from there. First, I'm gonna start from Landry Shamet. And this is only for these 4 games that they look like garbage, not the entire season. Like what we saw in those 4 games, culminating with Monday night in Detroit. Let's see what we saw. So Landry Shamet, how much percentage would you like to give him? I'm gonna guess your percentage is less than 1.
I'm gonna say 0.5. Why the fuck you got hurt, bro? Maybe we not talk about this if you get hurt, bro. But nah, it's 0. It's 0.
Okay.
I can't blame him, because I still don't know how that pick was legal. I still don't know how that pick was legal, but
I mean, it was legal, but I mean, all right. Tyler Kolek. This is
everyone answer. A category?
Put it like this. We are going
in order
in terms of importance to the team. Okay. That's including the players, and we have 2 spots reserved for the head coach and the president of basketball operations if needed, but we'll get to we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So Tyler Kolek. Bro, if you don't give him a 0 and keep him moving, because he was the only one that gave a shit the other day.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, he gave a 0 too.
All right. Madison Square Garcon.
You know what? Low key. Was he really playing like that in them games?
Not really.
I'm gonna give him 5 because he should have been an option.
That's fair. That is fair. All right. So he gets 5%. All right. Next up, Mitchell Robinson.
His defense has not been up to par. I really don't. I'm gonna keep it real. The free throws are doing a heavy lifting. The fact that he's all of a sudden Mark Price from the free throw line. Damn, I wish. I don't feel like looking up numbers right now. I'll give him a 5% for now.
All right. 5%. There we go. Jordan Clarkson.
You know what? I'll have him in with everyone. I'm giving him a 0.
Okay. Wow. I thought he would get like 1 because his.
All right, so San Antonio, he represented. I can't remember.
Although the 3-guard lineup against San Antonio in the fourth quarter flopped them big time. Well, then again, Jordan Clarkson does not determine the rotation, so maybe we save that for later.
Wait,
so,
let me see something real quick. Let me see something in this. Let me see what he did in he stunk them last 2 games. Actually, nah. He could get 5 with everybody else.
All right.
He get 5. And I'll probably go to adjust this later, but
it will just all right. Deuce McBride.
0%.
I was gonna say if we could give him -5%, I would do that.
I would give him negative to help out his boys. Yeah. Like that dude has been how he became the best shooter in the league under all of our noses is crazy.
Crazy. Mikal Bridges. Now Dan's get a little more interesting.
This is where it gets interesting. How much do we have for everybody?
We have 85% left for everybody. And I would like to remind you that I saw Mikal Bridges taking 1-foot floaters against Detroit.
Oh yeah. Let me tell you, that Detroit loss, if you played in that Detroit game, you getting some type of percentage. I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to say 15%.
All right.
I'm going to say 15.
All right. Leader in the clubhouse. Josh Hart. I guess Josh Hart's a 0.
He's a 0. Well, DNP, like he didn't play in any of them games.
He didn't play.
So he's a 0.
But it's funny that you was about to give Landry Shamet a point for getting hurt.
And that's what I was gonna say. If it stuck, then I would have to give. He'd get double for getting hurt.
Okay. OG Anunoby.
Let's start. You know what? No, equal. The 15. Give him 15? Give him a 15 also.
All right. We have 55% left for 2 players, a coach, and a president of basketball operations. Karl Anthony Towns.
Man. 20?
20. I would.
I don't know if you're gonna go. If you're gonna give your opinion so that we get on a middle ground with this. So I'm just throwing out numbers so we can adjust.
I've pretty much agreed with you. Maybe we can go back and change it.
Yeah. For sure.
The captain, Jalen Brunson.
How much we have left?
We have 35% for 3 people. Would you like a suggestion?
Yeah. We can make this. This is a collaboration. So this is definitely a collaboration. Yeah, right. It's like this one is tough.
It's actually not that tough for me.
But
it's actually not that
I know what I was gonna say. I know what I initially wanted to say. I just wanted to look at some box score stuff first. But go ahead. What's your suggestion?
I would give him 21%.
21.
Yes.
Okay. I was gonna say 20, but yeah, 21 is fine.
Reserving the right to change it later. And the reason why I'm saying 21% is because, yes, players have agency. And if Karl Anthony Towns is going to allow Isaiah Stewart to punk him on national television, there's not really much. It's not like Jalen Brunson can snap his fingers and get him to do what he needs to do. But the Knicks clearly had a poor attitude. And shout out to Sweeney Pooh who said this, and I said it live. To quote Julius from Remember the Titans, attitude reflects leadership, captain. And if you're going to wear the C on your chest, you have to take responsibility for how others perform. Not too much, but you have to take some. And also, you were on bullshit, especially in that Detroit game. You were on bullshit. You got as many assists that I did on Monday. All right. Mike Brown. We have 14% left to hand out.
I'll give Mike Brown 10.
Which leaves 4% for Leon Rose. Do we believe that number? Now, here's where it gets interesting. Is 4% fine? Should it be higher? Should it be lower? What should we do?
You know why I maybe this 4% will go other places.
Okay.
I'll start with 4%. If you're gonna say, okay, to this point, the Yabusele signing hasn't worked out the way folks thought.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that goes the same way. I think Clarkson has been fine. I think, Diawara has been a great bit of foul money. So if you're gonna attribute that to the front office, then I get it. But once again, this was not a problem 33 games ago.
Agreed.
It wasn't a problem 33 games ago. So giving him 4% now, when 33 games ago, if we did this post cup where it was like celebration pie or praise pie, he's probably getting way higher than this.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So,
all right. So then that's our blame pie. And to go into for those listening on podcasts, I'll read our percentages. Landry Shamet, Tyler Kolek, Miles McBride, and Josh Hart, 0%. Gershon Yabusele, 5%. Mitch, 5%. Clarkson, 5%. Mikal Bridges, 15%. OG Anunoby, 15%. Karl-Anthony Towns, 20%. Jalen Brunson, 21%. Mike Brown, 10%. Leon Rose, 4%. The reason why I like this is because if you ask me, and I said this during the watch along, the issue was not, oh, we ain't got no bench. The issue was not the young guys need to play more. The issue was not rotations
or anything.
The issue isn't coaching, because again, we saw this last year and we saw it this year. The issue is, to me, it was the four guys who get paid the most money on the team, which is Jalen Brunson, Karl-Anthony Towns, OG Anunoby, and Mikal Bridges, and they have 71% of the blame, and I think that is appropriate. So
I agree. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. You sign the check, you assume the responsibility.
Absolutely.
With great paper, there must also come great responsibility, bro. Absolutely. And that's what it is. And I think those are fair numbers. And I bet there's some people who probably thought we were going to come here and give Cat 40% or something like that. Like, as annoying as some of his stuff is, I could point to any one of them starting five players and tell you that their proclivities during this 4-game stretch have been equally, if not greater, levels of frustration for me.
Absolutely. All right. Now, I said a second ago that they did this last year, so it can't be, this wouldn't have happened on the Tips, because Jeff and I were in the building for the Cup final, Cup quarterfinal against Atlanta. Were you at the OKC game?
Yes,
we were in the building for the OKC game.
Oh Lord, yes.
They literally by the time Cedric and I were in our seats, my brother's company had a suite there, and he was there. He was like, "Come by, whatever." We left at the end of the first quarter. By the time we got from our seats to the suite, they were down like 20, and I was like, and we're like, "All right, we'll turn around," and it just never turned around. Whatever. But yeah, this happened under Tibbs. It's interesting when Tibbs' name gets brought up and when it doesn't. By the way, welcome to the social media section of the show. The first one is from our man Anthony Donahue. Shout out to Anthony. I met him not for the first time, but I saw him at the Garden. I forget which game. Took a good picture, whatever. Good guy, clearly loves the Knicks, what have you. Anytime Nick, shout out to Jay from East New York, said, me and Ant MSG had a Tibbs convo a few days ago. It ended well. I can sense the conversation around Tibbs for the next 48 hours will be a point of contention among the fans. And this is on December 27th. This is on December 27th. Anthony retweeted and said, my question is, why is anyone even talking about Tibbs? Seriously, the Knicks are doing awesome. Mike Brown is doing great. Jalen Brunson is doing great. And the list goes on. Why keep talking about the old coach for better or worse? My God, enjoy what's in front of you. Here's what I'll say, and I'll throw it to you, Jeff. Two things. One, I will talk about Tom Thibodeau any goddamn time I want to. And there is absolutely positively nothing anyone can do about it. If you don't like it, don't watch the show. But you're gonna watch because we're good entertainment, we're good content. Second, why is it like that when Tibbs is brought up in a negative manner, the Thibodeau media, and Anthony, I'm putting you in the Thibodeau media, sorry, try to issue a commandment, thou shalt not mention thy name of Thomas Thibodeau. But when other people, when the things aren't going well, then all of a sudden we see, and we'll get to them later, all of a sudden it's, well, last year we had the same record and they told me it was this. It was like, you can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways. When you have a team that fires a coach that was 6 wins from the title, clearly the organization did not believe that that coach could get them the final 6 wins. It is natural human behavior to compare this year's team and last year's team and the differences in those teams. Because guess what? We compare the benches. We compare the young players. We say Tyler Kolek's better this year than last year. We say Pacome Dade is still not any good. We say Jordan Clarkson is doing things like is an upgrade on campaign. No one is immune. Nobody's immune. So I'm just trying to say, like, dog, as long as we're having a conversation that and it's being genuine and respectful, we should be able to have the conversation. Because y'all bring up Julius Randle all the goddamn time, and he's been going for a while. And y'all cry about it's not you, Anthony. I'm not coming at you. And y'all bring up Dante DiVincenzo. Can we get him back? Tibbs can't be off limits.
So I'm trying to make it a point not to bring up Tibbs as much as possible, just like as a comparison, because I feel like I deal with that as a wrestling fan, where it's like you can't talk about something that happens in wrestling without somebody bringing up other companies and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Here's what I'll say. When you let go of a coach and the fan base and analysts have had consistent critiques, and the new coach comes in, address every critique, and has better than average results to a surprising level of success, to the point where folks are looking at each other like, I knew I wasn't crazy. This seems so simple. And the same Thibodeau media was telling us those whole years, this doesn't matter. These young guys suck. They're not ready yet. You got to go with the veterans that are going to give you the best chance to win. I don't care about minutes. Just play the game and get the results. Injuries happen in the league. They can only play drop coverage. If they try to play zone or anything else, it's not going to work. They don't have a bench. We've heard this over and over and over again. When anybody tried to make even the slightest recommendation that the team should try something different. Oh, Deuce is too small to start alongside Jalen. How about that one? How's that one working out? So, of course, like Sean said, it's natural to make that comparison. And I don't think it's, of course, some people are going to take the jilted X route and throw the positives and the chains. Like, I'm doing better now. You posted your new coach. You smiling, you giggling, you sharing on all the stories and all the close friends. Like, everybody know you're doing well. Everybody know you're doing well. And you're doing well post breakup because you win a new relationship and everything you wanted, you're going to get, right? Like we get it. We get it 100%. Some people are like that. But I think when you had a team that went to the Eastern Conference Finals and they let go of their coach, this is going to be a prevailing narrative for as long as Mike Brown is here. In fact, I'll even give you one more. If they get back to the conference finals, 50% of that Tibbs talk might die. If they do not get to the finals, the Tibbs talk is going to run right back.
Mm-hmm.
If they get to the finals, the Tibbs talk is going to run right back because Tibbs didn't get there. I'm sorry. This darkness is where we all reside. The only light at the end of the tunnel is if they win the chip. So that's what you should be rooting for. And then guess what, Sean? When they win the chip, the Tibbs talk is going to run right back until the beginning of next season when it's officially going to be done.
Yeah. And again, if I knew that if the Knicks did not make the conference finals, that the liberal media would not bring up Tibbs, I'd be like, cool. But we all know that's going to happen. We all know that is going to happen. So, but Anthony, thank you for allowing us to create some content with your content. Looking forward to see you at the Garden soon. Next time I see you, I will buy you a drink, but not in January because it's dry January and I'm not buying anyone liquor that I can't buy for myself.
Quick question for you.
Yes, sir.
Did any of Dolan's comments on the Fan change your opinion on how the coaching situation went down?
No. I mean, he didn't say anything that I didn't already know. Like, what's actually interesting is what happened in June with the Knicks is very similar to what happened with my football team 2 days ago, where and my favorite football team is the Baltimore Ravens, who fired John Harbaugh, and the reports were that the front office wanted to keep him, but the owner was like, nah. And went to him and said, and had a conversation with him. A conversation didn't go the way he wanted to go. And now listen, Steve Bisciotti's catching some grief, or whatever, but like it's the same thing. And in both cases, I agreed because for both teams, the New York Knicks and the Baltimore Ravens, if they kept the same head coach, nothing was going to change the next year. To the point where they said John Harbaugh wanted to keep both his coordinators, including Zach Orr, who has been in over his head from day one, and everyone could see that. So what should be done eventually must be done immediately. It was done. So Devil's comments didn't change anything for me.
I hear you.
All right. Next up, this tweet is from my man Rook Shiesty. Shout out to Rook. Good guy. And it says, my year already off to a good start. My first time having pregame warm-up access at the game. So for those who do not know, Rook is very prevalent on Knicks Twitter. Good guy. Met him before. Has come to like watch parties, seen him at Blarney, whatever. Let's just say Rook has seen more losses at MSG than wins. And fans have been starting to blame him for our losses to the point that when he tweets us at the game, his mentions get lit up on fire and like, no, leave, get out. And if they lose, it's all your fault. Well, guess what? Rook was at the game in Atlanta and they won. And he was at the game yesterday and they won. Shout out to Knicks Film School's own Rebecca Chasen, who was with Rook, who she said she washed the curse off of Rook. I don't believe that. Not that I believe that Rebecca didn't try, but that I am a grown-ass man and I don't believe in curses. So, Rook, you stun on them hoes, and hoes that gender neutral term, so don't even try it. You stunt on them, and you do you. And I'm glad you had a good time.
For sure. I mean, look, I try to shoot Rook some bell. I was like, yeah, he was at the first game of the season. I was at the Cavs, and they won. When this man said that they are 3-3 at the Garden, and at the time, they were 15-3 at MSG. I said, oh, God. Yo, it was so crazy that I found a math calculator to try to determine the probability of a fan going to 18 Knicks games where they've won 15 of 18 and being present for all three losses. Long and short of it, I will not take you through binomial theory, but it was a 5% chance that a fan could have went to 6 games and been there for 3 of those losses. You know what that means? There's actually, we're going to do it right now. We're going to do it right now. Give me 1 second. I'm going to send you, Sean. Where do you want me to send this? Do you want me to send this to you private chat or text?
Private chat is fine.
All right. I want you to pull this up on the screen right now. This is going to be a quick detour. Quick detour. Okay, let's go to splits. I would. This is how I would tell you how absurd this was. Right. Game logs. Let's go 25, 26.
All right, let's take down that and let us present. Let's do this.
And I hope the math works out on this so that we can have a great laugh.
All right.
So, like I said before, the probability that Rook would have been present for the only 3 Knicks losses of the season, at that point 18 games, was like 5%, which means there is a 95% chance that I could have blindfolded you, put ping pong balls in a jar, told you to pick out 6 dates randomly, and you would have a better record at MSG than Rook. All right? So what I have up, I do it on my screen because we don't need to do a whole split screen.
Okay.
I have the number from 1 to 18 of the home dates that the Knicks had.
Okay.
So we'll assign the random number generator minimum 1, max 18.
Okay.
We're gonna run this 6 times, eliminating doubles, and let's see what our record is.
All right.
All right. Let's go. Just call out the number and I'll go to you.
All right.
And I'll tell you.
All right.
What's the first number?
Come on. 1.
That's the Cleveland game. That's easy. That's Cleveland, New York. That's a win. So now we're 1-0. Next number.
4.
1, 2, 3. That was Knicks versus the Washington Wizards at home, and that was a win. So right now we're 100% on the season.
Yes.
Just by random numbers. Okay. Next number.
17.
Okay. So let's see.
This is yo. If you needed any more proof that Jeff is an absolute math nerd, this is it for you right here.
So 18 is
17.
the game.
17.
You said 17?
17.
Hold on. I just want to give me one moment.
Take your time.
Okay. So let's see. Oh, this was even easier. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
You said 17, right?
17. Yeah, 17.
That was Knicks Atlanta. And if I'm not mistaken, was he at Atlanta or was he at Philly?
No, he was at Atlanta. He was at Atlanta.
Here. Oh, he was at Atlanta, in Atlanta.
In Atlanta.
So that was the Philly game. All right, so that was the Atlanta game. We're 2-1 now. Okay. Next.
5.
That was 1, 2. Well, the Knicks was on a 5-game win streak. That was Minnesota.
Okay.
Now we're right now. Just to put it in perspective, right now, we've picked out 4 random dates, and we're 3-1.
Yes.
So that means out of the remaining 14 games?
Yes.
We would have to go. We would have to pick the 2 out of the 14 to win. Go ahead. Next number.
Okay. By the way, shout out to people watching Twitter, YouTube. If you're watching Twitter, you're probably, what the hell are they doing? This is fascinating radio. 11. Yo, 11.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Knicks against your Charlotte Hornets. We have a victory. We are now 4-1 at the Garden this season. Now, let's just finish it off, Sean.
7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That was Knicks in Memphis at the Garden. 11-11. Make a wish, and the Knicks have won this game. You are now 5-1 randomly. If we chose 6 random dates at the Garden, a 95% chance that anyone, if we just said, hey, pick any 6 dates, you would have went over 500. So when I saw that, and funny enough, the calculator I used came to the conclusion that While some may say that this is a curse, just know that this also could just be random luck and probability. I'm sorry. Rook, you had a curse on you. And whatever Rebecca did, this is what I'm proposing. Every Knicks Twitter fan, if you know Rook and you are part of the community, carry a stick of sage with you and some matches. The next time you see Rook, you say a prayer of abundance and blessing over him. First off, because I don't play allowing certain spirits in, but you got to shake it off. You got to shake it off. We sage him just like you remember Kyrie did to the Boston Garden. We got to sage Rook and then put nothing but abundance on his name. Because if that's what Rebecca did, I think we're going to be good. But boy, I mathematically just showed you that it's impossible to do what Rook does. So when folks say this was the Rook curse, it wasn't cap. I want to call it the Rook blessing. I want it to be the Rook blessing. So let's just start off on a good foot. Sean, you do not understand how much my mind was blown when I wanted, and that was doing this trying to disprove it.
Look.
Yo, this man, bro. This
you know what?
man.
Shout out to Dirty Dancer because, again, the simplest answer is often the correct answer. If you choose to go to good games, you will get some L's. Simple as that.
That's also true.
Now, if he was going to games against Washington, Charlotte, Utah, Sacramento, New Orleans, and we're losing, I mean, we still should have a conversation because there's no such thing as curses. However, I would be like, you know something, this is crazy. But listen,
the level of competition does have to do with the curse. But who did they lose to in his 3 games? They lost to Orlando. They lost to
Atlanta. Orlando,
Atlanta, and Philly. No, Orlando. Wait.
No, he went to the game in Atlanta that they won. That was a game when Trey came in and flushed and flushed the game down the toilet.
Right.
He went to the game in Atlanta. The game. I don't think he went to the game here, the Atlanta game here, but he was at the Philly game.
3, 4, 5.
We have been on this segment entirely too long, thanks to Jeff's nerding out. But
bro, he did. He was 3-3 at the Garden. Those were the 3 games that they had lost. He said his Garden record was 3-3.
The first Philly game.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Listen, Rook, one day if Sed doesn't go to a game, I'm going to hit you up and I'm going to bring you to the game and we're not going to say nothing. And the Knicks are going to win. And then I'm posting the picture. And I'm going to tell Yoda, let's get ready to suck it.
Yeah, right.
All right. Next up, we got from our favorite Knicks player podcast, the Roommate Show. And this is, I'm just going to let it ride.
Yes, please.
You are who you are as a player. You're going to bring your, the effort and the energy. But is there anything that you'd say is maybe unique about this stretch of games where you sort of watching as a spectator, you're like, okay, this is top priority for me when I get back in terms of things that you want to bring or areas that you want to help out?
You read my halftime text?
I wish I saw this at halftime, but I didn't. Should I read it word for word?
Yeah, go ahead if you want.
These shooting 60% from the field, 54% from 3. Guard these guys. These guys picking us up full court. We just on some cool, too good for defense. Man, watching this shit looks embarrassing.
Which game was that you texted him?
Which game do you think?
Detroit? Yeah.
For me, it's just making sure we have that energy and physicality from the beginning of the game. When you're watching it, obviously you get to see that, but you also hear the announcers and hear some of the stats and hear some of the stuff. I think they said we're like either 20 or a couple more than that games where we were trailing after the first quarter. And I think it was one, conversely, we were 19-0 with a lead in the fourth quarter until the San Antonio game. But you hear that and you're like, okay, more than 65% of our games, we're not starting the game off right. For me, it's like, okay, I got to make sure no matter what I'm doing, I bring the physicality, the toughness to start the game and have that be a contagious thing. And if guys aren't doing that, hold them accountable. Obviously, I don't like missing games, but it's also good to be able to kind of see it when I come back. This is what I had to try to do to make a positive impact.
So that was Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson on the Roommates pod. And listen, Josh was visibly upset during the Sixers game.
Oh, yeah.
Visibly upset. And that's why Josh ain't listen, I'll be the first person to be like, Josh needs to shoot and hold Josh accountable. But 10 of 10, no notes.
They in our group chat. I think they're in our group chat because that might have been verbatim what I was sending Sean and said, bro. Like I'm talking about verbatim. When he read the text, I was like, yo, I started checking my phone. Like, yo, where did I send that last text? Is that Josh or is that me? Bruh, it's crazy. It's absolutely insane. But yeah, man, that's the type of accountability they need. And you know what? This is why I said when you want to criticize mentalities from year over year, it starts with the team leaders. And it starts with these roommates. They are the consistent team leaders since Brunson has gotten here. And Hart got traded in the spring here. It's been them two. They've been the consistent locker room leaders. So if this team is falling off, if this team isn't being held accountable, if they're not handling their business, I'm looking at you two. I ain't looking at OG. I ain't looking at Mikal. I ain't looking at, and you know what? No, I'm going to look at Mikal too. You want to be a whistleblower, right? Heavy is the head that wears the crown, bro. I know you vocal and I know you talk. So now you got to assume that role as well. You the Iron Man. I need more Tony Stark out of you. Like straight up, bro. I'll go to Mikal as well. And I don't think that, Clarkson, you know what? Yeah. Clarkson, you might as well be they pops on the team with the age difference. You might as well be they unk. You probably unk to the rookies for sure. I need dudes to start assert yourself. Mitch, you the elder statesman of the Knicks.
Well, listen, if you're asking for,
I know, but I mean, crack some jokes, cut somebody ass. Like at this point, you gotta, you have to be, come on, dog. We've heard that term before. We've heard that term before.
Wait a minute.
What?
What did you say?
Cut their ass. Cutting ass, making jokes. Like, we gonna act like that's new. You are insane, bro. You're insane. But no, get in where you fit in, bro. Get in where you fit in. That's all I'm saying. That's why when we talk about, is this team soft? Is this team mentally tough? Is this team what is it missing? I'm like, who are we gonna talk to? We could talk to everybody, but who's supposed to be the stir that straws the drink? It's these two.
The straw that stirs the drink.
Did I say the stir that straws the drink?
Yeah, look, because honestly, listen, you're on fire right now.
Even the stir straws sometime. About that again. Thinking about it again. Think about it.
Use your third eye, son.
Word. Overstand what I'm trying to say to you. Don't look for the syntax. Look for the semantics.
Peace to the gods. You ain't going off the rails. Speaking of off the rails, let's get to let's induct some clown into the rage bait, clickbait, engagement.
Is that it for social?
That's it for social.
Okay. All
right.
Oh yeah, we need this.
So So first up, our first nominee is this ass clown. I'll just play it. This is from, I think his name is Spencer or whatever. I'll just play it.
How you doing? Pistons beat that ass like you stole something. Took your chopped cheese money and sent you back to the bodega crying. I swear to God, I hope we see your soft asses in the playoffs. Cat don't want that smoke. And after all that, he still got cooked by beef stew, baby. Kate Cunningham is the best player in the Eastern Conference. I never want to hear you peons mention his name with Jalen Brunson again. Fuck out of here with that trash shit. Detroit basketball. Oh, man.
Detroit basketball. Oh, man. That was from Spencer Raxter, and Spencer has a blue check. So you already know what time it is. I'm bringing this back up here. Hold on a second.
I need real Detroit people to hit me and let me know if this is what Detroit is.
Listen, all you have to do is just ask him what up though, and see how he responds. Probably from 12 Mile.
Stop letting Chat GPT write your promos, bro.
And the tweet. This is the tweet. The tweet said, "New York Knicks, how you doing? No Jalen, no Tobias Harris, no problem. The Detroit Pistons waxed that ass. Kay Cunningham owns you." I just have one question. When the Knicks, when Trae Young has a losing record against the Knicks all time, we're told it doesn't matter because he beat them in the playoffs before COVID boosters were a thing. However, when the Knicks beat Kate Cunningham and the Pistons in the playoffs, apparently one regular season game in January means that Kate Cunningham owns the Knicks. Make it make sense.
They can't. It's slander. It don't make sense. I hope he got $2 from this. If that.
Mazel tov to
He
him.
was spitting too. Like that man was foaming out the mouth in January, bruh.
Yeah.
We used to be like that.
All right. Next nominee. So Spencer Raxter, you're our first nominee. Next nominee. This is from at I Know Ball 0444, which usually means you don't know ball, but let's give him a shot. Maxey is a lot better than Brunson, but y'all aren't ready for that conversation. Better offensively and 3 tiers better defensively. All right. Maxey is the 4th best player in the world at this level, man. Special. You know what? It's time to get a t-shirt made this spring. And the t-shirt will contain the words, I don't know who said it first. It's either Kaz or my man F Do Work. I don't know who said it first, but whoever said it first needs to make a t-shirt. And the t-shirt says, everybody's better than Brunson until it's time to be better than Brunson.
And I'm not going to even open this to Maxey slander because I think Maxey is like the most likable player in the NBA. It's like if you take it like to the frat day, he's the dude that's in the other frat that's like, yo, that's my man, bro. Like I'll fuck with y'all. I'll fuck with y'all, but that's my man. Like that's what he's good. He's phenomenal. He's phenomenal. And if they see each other in the playoffs, we will see because this is just another year. Even with this man Brunson currently at 4th overall in All-Star voting, and that ain't just Knicks fans.
Nope.
Everybody's saying it. Sports Illustrated says it. Bleacher Report says it. And many people are saying that without the day. People are saying that he should be among the All-Star vote leaders. So, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Y'all do this every year. And I feel like this dude is a bot. But whatever. We gonna cook. I feel like he's a bot. But could do this every year. Y'all do this every year. It's boring at this point. And that's one of the best parts of being a Knicks fan in this era is that the slander finally gets reversed.
Yes.
Thrown in people's faces.
And the funny thing is, in the Leon Rose era, the Knicks have won 4 playoff series. And usually we come away from the series giving flowers to a specific player. Well, except for the Cleveland series because Garland was terrible and Mitchell and Spider, the whole we should have traded for him that or whatever. And then Boston, fuck Boston. So whatever. But we gave flowers to Maxey and we gave flowers to Kate. We don't dislike either of those players. If you poll most of the fan base, they do not dislike Tyrese Maxey. They do not dislike Kate Cunningham. But you morons are making it very hard to like these guys with this bullshit. So again, someone get the t-shirt made. But here's the last entry here's the last nominee. Mr. Frank Isola, who tweeted on January 5th, 9:30 p.m., after the Knicks lost to the Pistons. Knicks had a better record last year after 36 games. Also had a tougher Eastern Conference. That's bullshit. But what they didn't have was collaboration. And ultimately, that's what it's all about. And Anthony, this is why you or anybody else you can never stop me from bringing up Tom Thibodeau. Because Frank Isola is bringing up Tom Thibodeau. Now, here's the funny thing. I went and looked at his tweets. He hadn't tweeted about the Knicks, the current Knicks, for a while. He was tweeting about the World Cup final at MetLife, someone slipping on the snow. Come check out my show of Brian Scalabrine on NBA radio. Like, who won't waste their time for that shit? Here's what I'm going to say. Frank Isola is a butthurt sucker. And I would say that to his face. He's had an axe to grind against his franchise for years. to the point that he works on Yes for Nets games. And he has been in his feelings ever since they fired his boy, Tom Thibodeau. And they had all the mouth when the Knicks started 2-3. And then the Knicks won some games. And like, yo, he was tweeting about Michael Irvin in the college football playoff quarterfinal. But now you get, nah, dog. Because you know what's funny? Shout out to Blame. Well, it used to be called Blames Dawn. Now it's at Blames _. After the win against, after the Christmas, I think it was after the Christmas win or after that, like he said, haven't heard from Mark Berman in a while. Haven't heard from Frank Isola in a while, but they're waiting. And oh, by the way, Jeff, at the end of the game yesterday, did you hear that sound at the end of the game?
What sound?
That was the sound of Frank Isola deleting his drafts after they beat the Clippers.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And you know what made it even worse is he goes on his show and tries to get at our guy CP.
Yes.
The franchise from Knicks Fan TV. And not even just on some like friendly banter. No. He really tried to violate, like by using epithets like podcaster, YouTuber, and trying to get at him to try to diminish what he's built and who he's done. A guy who breaks more Knicks news than the journalists nowadays.
Nah.
He breaks more Knicks news than you. A guy who I will put money on got more listeners than you on Sirius XM. They don't have to subscribe $12 a month. And Sirius, stop sending me that damn letter. Yeah, we got the car, bro. We don't need Sirius. I don't need it. I don't. I promise you, I respectfully decline. So what I could hear this guy talk with Brian Scalabrine?
The fucking ops.
Like, let's come on, man. You think we're surprised that a Brooklyn Nets commentator now got something to say? Why don't you talk about Cam Thomas? Why don't you talk about Spokane Jackson? I just made up that name. You probably thought he was one of the young guys the Nets drafted. I just made that name up. You didn't already know Frank is going in. Like, let's not even mince words. Let's not even let's suspend belief.
Yeah.
Let's suspend belief and say that he is definitely going in, right? And say he's not going in. He's going in. It's just what. And then you know what was the worst part about it, Sean?
What?
This dude, he tried to make it seem as if folks were saying, "Oh, you don't speak about the Knicks no more." Hey, if people don't know you speak about the Knicks, what does that tell you? Let's talk about it. The fact was, folks were saying, like we say to everybody on that damn hell site, "Hey, you ain't tweet about this in a minute." He said he probably moved on to Blue Sky.
Yo.
Maybe he's on Blue Sky because you don't talk about the Knicks until they're down bad, which has been few and far between. So yeah, man, you know, folks need to start living in an abundance mentality. Just because I win doesn't mean you lose, unless we're in a head-to-head competition. If I get an opportunity, that doesn't mean you can't get opportunities. If these guys are winning on YouTube, that doesn't mean you can't win on Sirius or in print. You don't have to dim someone else's light because you can't handle the rays of the sun. Like we gotta be able to shine and build up together. And if a lot of these journalists were smart, they would collaborate and get with the program so that you don't go the way of the dinosaur. And I understand sometimes people feel like they have to be extra. They have to be sensational in order to get the views and get the listens and get attention capital drawn to you. But especially for somebody who's been on that man's show before, that was really nasty.
Yes.
That was classless.
Yes.
And that was some herb shit. That was some real sucker shit. Like, especially, you know, that man, you could have hit him on the phone if you felt the way. And you from the era where there was only phones, with a rotary phone, where you had to dial. It took you 2 minutes to make a call because you had to wait for the dial to get back to the number before you rolled and rolled and rolled again. Well, you probably would have to memorize his number because we was walking around with pen and paper. Come on, dog. Enough is enough.
Like I said, he's a sucker, and I would say that to his face. And to your point, he's from the 90s. He knows he could have, but listen, he also has a blue check next to his name. That's all you need to know. All right. Well, Frank Isola, welcome to the KFS Rage Bait, Engagement Bait, Clickbait Hall of Fame. It's long overdue, but as we said before in previous episodes, you can be inducted more than once. So I think we'll see him again very soon.
That man's we're gonna have to do the Jordan picture. his Rage Bait Hall of Fame rings.
All right. That is our show for today. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for pulling up. We didn't get no voicemails. It's been a while. Listen,
man, delete the line, man.
We are not deleting the line. We are not. Now, to be fair, I didn't check before today, so I'm going on a limb. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll be the first person to apologize next week. If it didn't, call the Frank Isola. Call the KFS after school voicemail line and air me out if you have a problem with what I said. And then if you want, you can come on this show or you go on with John and we can talk about it. 641-715-3900, extension 660862. 641-715-3900, extension 660862. Jeff, any last words before we get out of here?
Nah, man, this is fun. I'll say when you hear the phrase "this too shall pass," it's talking about good times and bad, which is a reminder that don't get too high, don't get too low, stay even keeled, and be able to either ride the wave of prosperity or ride out the wave of negativity. It's a sickness to be a sports fan, man. Like what we let these teams do to us mentally and emotionally is crazy. But if you're along for the ride the right way. You know what I mean? Like don't let it get out. And above all else, enjoy the season. Enjoy the season. Enjoy the wins. Stop letting people tell you that games don't matter, that competitions don't matter, or try to shame you because you want to support a victory. Like, nah, man, do you. Being your own individual is what's really cool, not following a pack. So, you know what I mean? Like, do your thing, man. That's really all I got to say.
Absolutely. If you like what you're listening to, yes.
One more thing before you do the call to action. I don't know if you was planning to do it, so I think
you know what
I'm talking about.
Yeah,
all right,
yeah.
So then run.
All right. If you like what you're listening to and you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to the Knicks Film School channel across all podcast platforms. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please leave us a 5-star review. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, 5 stars. If you're watching this on YouTube and you're not subscribed, please subscribe on YouTube so that way you'll get alerts when we go live for shows like this one, the weekly recap of John and Jeremy, X's and O's with Benji and DJ, which is going live at 9:30 tonight, I believe, as well as emergency live streams for when, Giannis gets traded to the Knicks next week. That's not really going to happen. Follow us on all socials at Knicks Film School. That's Knicks Film, SKOOL. We are on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, and Blue Sky, you can catch me and Frank Isola and Jeff over there. And if you want even more Knicks content, you can sign up to be a patron through our KFS Patreon, where you get exclusive interviews, Benji's great book, DJ's film room, as well as extra podcasts. And you can also sign up to our KFS Substack, which is written by Jonathan Macri 5 days a week. But before we sign off, we have to sign off on a bit of a somber note. Jeff, I'll throw it to you.
Oh, if you had it, you got it. I just didn't know if you wanted to do it, and I didn't know if it was going to be said. That's why I was. Before we signed off, but no, you got it.
Okay. So this week, the Knicks fan community and specifically the Knicks film community, the Knicks Twitter community, lost someone very near and dear to all of us. That's Aaron Robbins, more known to everyone as E. E had leukemia. She passed away earlier this week. Jeff, you brought up about enjoy the season. Don't let anyone tell you how to fan. Don't let anyone tell you what it's about. If anybody was that was E. You were never going to tell E that the Knicks sucked. You were never going to there's nothing you can say to make E be less of a fan. I remember the first time I heard E's voice in a space. That's how I first got to know her. And she would be calling in at work, calling in, talking cash shit about everyone else, bigging up the Knicks. And this is like 2020, 2020. Well, space started 2021, 2022 during thumbs down season. But E was second to none when it came to being a Knicks fan. There is no bigger fan than E. E and Jesus are partner at Knicks games regularly all the time. Monday night, Friday night, Sunday afternoon, what have you. There are so many times that me and Cedric would run into them at like halftime. We talk. In fact, I remember we ran into them on the concourse late last season. I can't remember if it was during game 1 of the Pistons or if it was late in the season. It was a late regular season game. And we were just talking, about the game like we always do. And like he brought this energy. That was good, whatever. And that was the last time I saw her. And I did not know. And I come to find out, according to, I saw to a GoFundMe that she was diagnosed on April 1st, which means she was going to games, dealing with the disease, and just didn't make it public. She just wanted to see her Knicks. She'll be surely missed. Every time I walk by the Chase Lounge at MSG, I think of her because she was the one that told everyone in space, if you're going to a game, go to the Chase Lounge. They'll give you food. They'll give you non-alcoholic drinks, which you can mix with something if you manage to get it in the mess. I'm not saying I've done that. I'm just saying you could do that, but she will absolutely be missed. So, Aaron, E, rest in peace to you.
Yes, sir. And as somebody who I met her on probably around the same time that you did, a few months later. Because anytime I seen her as love, anytime I seen Jesus is love too. Them two were like the Knicks Twitter couple, the Knicks Twitter official couple. And anytime you seen them at a game, you knew it was peace. Like I would see them during the half times when I come back from doing the show, and we'd meet up in the 100 sections and just chop it up about what we saw going on at the half. Loving the spaces, loving real life where it really matters. And yeah, it's fuck cancer forever and ever and ever. She was too young to go, and I really hope that her family, Jesus, and anybody who know her are comforted and warmth and love, healing, mercies, and just abundant blessings to you, man. Like I hate talking about people in the past tense. We've been getting kind of hit hard, like OG Mario, who's also another Knicks Twitter personality, passed away earlier this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't have any personal connection to him, but it's just a reminder that this life ain't promised, bro. This life ain't promised. So live it to the fullest. And knowing E for the little time that I did, she was the epitome of living life to the fullest and enjoying the team. Mm-hmm. And enjoying what you see and letting that bring you some joy. So I hope she's comforted, and I know they have a GoFundMe going on for support. So please definitely support that. And I believe there's a celebration of life going on. So if you knew her, definitely tap into the socials and you'll be able to connect with folks and be able to say your farewells.
Absolutely. The link to the GoFundMe is in the description for this on YouTube. We'll post it on Twitter as well. And there is on the GoFundMe, there's mention of a celebration of life service. It says January 15th. I have not seen any details being shared about where and when it is. But like Jeff said, if you tap in on social, I'm sure you'll find out. If you're part of the Knicks Twitter community, I'm sure you'll be able to find out. So we're going to sign off with a clip of E on the Die Hard Knicks podcast. And I'm playing this because if you didn't know who E was, this is the perfect encapsulation of her.
real Knicks fan. I'm a real person. And you just have to understand there's nothing better. I'm sorry to say this to you, other fans on other teams. You don't live in New York. You don't have what we have. You can't build what we built. And this comes from the heart. And it comes from, being a New Yorker and loving a team like it's a family member. And the Knicks are my family. And so is all of Knicks Twitter, whether they like me or not. I'm a Knicks fan. They beneath me. Like I said, that's my real names because I'm a real bitch. So that's why I like people be on Twitter with all types of fake names and filters. I never have a filter. My mouth ain't filtered. Neither are my pictures. Listen, just Aaron R. That's who I am. Feel free to get at me and talk Knicks shit because that's my favorite DM to get. Is if you want to talk to me in my DMs, talk to me about Knicks. You want to get me to pay attention to you on the timeline, talk to me about Knicks. Just don't talk no Knicks slander because I'll block you like that. We don't accept Knicks slander ever.
That was E. And for Jeff, for everyone, I'm Sean for W. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Knicks Nation, let's ride. If you're out on your bike tonight, do wear white. Rest in peace, Aaron Robbins.
Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777. Massachusetts, call 800-327-5050. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY. Maryland, visit mdgamblinghelp.org. Not available in all states. Terms apply. See the Fanatics Sportsbook app.